Welcome to the Space Limited Accomplishments interval. I'm Lance Ash, and this with me is Bonnie Ash.
Hello.
And we're in the car on our way to work after a very rough week. Last week was very rough. And we're going to be blunt and talk about it. Our son, who is 23, has ulcerative colitis. And as an adjunct to that, he has now developed primary sclerosing cholangitis, which is very serious, can affect the liver, and it
Will shorten his life.
has a very good chance of a shortened lifespan. So he spent most of last week in the hospital. Supposed to be coming home tomorrow in the morning, we hope. And to be honest, I've just about cried myself out over it. I'm just about done crying over it.
I'm not.
I am going to have a talk with him when he gets home about
Taking this seriously.
on the one hand, taking it seriously and taking his health seriously and doing what is necessary, but also developing a philosophical approach to this, like, just live your life, do what you want to do what you like to do, and just do it, because we're all living, on board. Yeah, exactly. I've been through some horrible health scares.
Yes, and you've drugged me along, and I've been through some horrible health scares, and I've drugged you along.
Yes, and Bonnie's convinced that I'm on a one-way street to dementia and shortened lifespan. So,
Yep.
Who knows? There are reports of people who have taken it seriously and who have lived
Avoided the liver transplants.
and lived a good long time.
But those are rare.
And who knows what's going to happen in the future. They may develop medication or procedures to deal with it.
All we know is we've just got a short time with them.
So, Bonnie spent most of the last couple of days up at the hospital with him.
This is last week.
Yeah. I went to work last Sunday night because it was a holiday and I wanted the extra money. I called in sick the next night, and then Tuesday night I went in, but Bonnie called me just
Thursday night you went in. Or Wednesday night.
and yeah, you're right. I called in sick
For
Monday
4
night.
days.
No, for one day. And then the next day, all this shit started. So I called in sick for 3. But then it looked like, well, maybe it'll be okay to go to work. So I go to work Tuesday night, and Bonnie called me and said, I want you to come home. So I got a friend of mine to drive me home, and I stayed out the rest of the week. And now I'm heading back. I'm gonna try to get my routine back in order, and try to get our son's routine back in order. Try to get everything back on the routine, on a schedule, and just take it from there. I don't know what's going to happen, but anything to add?
We're atheists. We don't believe in heaven. And we're not going to believe in heaven or gods. I wouldn't want to believe in any kind of God or thing that would do this to a child. Someone as good as our son is. So I feel like whatever happens to us has to be dealt with head on. It has to be faced. And there is no afterlife. There is no false peace in that bullshit. And we've always lived and taught the kids to live here and now in the moment and to remember this is the only life they have. We had no idea it would be so short for our son. But we knew all along that anything could happen at any time. This isn't going to change our fundamental beliefs with regard to atheism. It may hone our perspective into a living in the moment, more so appreciating the beauty. One of the things that Lance and I do is go out and take photo walks, and we photograph weird shit. Lance got me into this. Rust, broken things, just the bizarre, the mundane. Later I found out there's a concept in Japanese aesthetics called wabi-sabi. It's embracing the beauty of the broken, of the things that are old, decay, age, and seeing the beauty there because of, not despite, the brokenness, the age, the decay. So I hope that we are able to appreciate this time with him even more.
I had something I wanted to add to that. Can't remember. Oh, I know. I'll tell you something I thought of a long time ago. Our son must have been about, I don't know, he was about 5, I'll say, something like that, 4 or 5. My dad used to live next door to us, and he had a golf cart, and they were riding around the property, and our son fell off the back of it and hit his head on the floor. So they called the EMTs, and they checked him out. I was asleep through most of this. I woke up at the tail end of this when they had checked him out and said he's okay. So I walk outside, and this is what I see. The EMT guy is hugging our son. He's knelt down next to him, and our son is just getting over crying. He's sort of like, recovering. And this is what I heard the EMT say to him. Maybe now your parents let you go to church.
What the fuck was that about? How horrible of a person.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. I didn't go running back to Jesus when they cut my goddamn skull open and bolted it back in place. And I'm not going to go running back to Jesus even if my child is living on borrowed time. So, anyway. I'm not going to... If I want to lie to myself and say it's going to be okay because I just have a feeling, then I'll do that. But I'm not going to embrace a bunch of hoo-ha to go with it. Also, today, or this morning, marks 3 days without caffeine for me. So, I'm getting back into normal functioning, but we will see what happens tonight.
We're curious to find out if the caffeine, with no longer using the caffeine, will in any way affect any sort of feelings he has, moments.
We're hoping that it will. We're hoping that it will diminish the possibility of having another seizure. So we'll see. I am trying to double down on the meditation and taking it more seriously. Had a really pretty good session just now before we left the house. All of this shit is coming together. When anytime you have some sort of big experience, big emotional upheaval, all the stuff that, over the course of those days, everything that you've experienced all becomes part of that package. Any music you listen to, anything that happened. So this is all, my head's all a whirl. So everything weighs on me. Tonight when I get to work, as soon as I get there, I got to make sure that they upgraded my paperwork for my position, my assignment, to get more money to do this little job I do up here.
Little money to do the big job that you have to do.
Well, I get a certain leeway and a certain measure of autonomy, yes, by doing this. What is going on up there? Can you see that? This woman standing in the ditch and those people.
I'm not going to bother with it.
I just wonder what. Anyway. Hold on, what?
Focus on that thing.
Yeah, well, this is all part of the show. We're in the car. If we have a crash, then that'll be part of the show. A couple days ago on The Guardian, it must have been, maybe it was CNN website, they had pictures of people who were either drug addicts or in recovery or affected by drug addiction and so forth. And these pictures were horrifying because they're just, you could tell these people were, they'd been through it. Hard living. Oh, me. Back a little over a year before Bonnie and I met, I went on a horrible bender, and I was a temp at this. If you've ever heard of the company Overhead Door, they make garage doors and they make industrial dock doors and so forth. Anyway, oh no, this was after that. I'm sorry. All that shit happened at Thanksgiving of the year before, but it is around February, and I went on this horrible bender. My mother took my keys, so I couldn't leave the house and go get more liquor. So I walked across the street and stole my grandfather's truck, and anyway, that was a horrible. When I finally came back, that's when I decided to quit drinking for good. But the story I was going to tell was the Thanksgiving one. I went on this horrible bender. When I got back, I had to go to work at Overhead Door. So I hadn't slept in a couple of days. And I go up there, and it was like a big factory where they made the doors in sections, and then you had to you had like a list of orders to load them on different trucks to different areas, and you had to load the trucks up with all this junk. And I had to work an 8-hour shift, might have been longer, with no sleep, hallucinating auditory hallucinations all day, and that was a horrible experience. So I know what it is to suffer. Bonnie, do you know what it is to suffer?
I live with you, darling.
Okay. Oh, goodness. And post office, that's suffering too, I have to admit. This joke of a job. This stupid commute. They're saving so much money by having me commute an hour to get to work.
An hour? No, it's more than an hour
Oh,
each way.
well, when I drive, it's an hour.
No. It's an hour 15 drive each way. I take you up there. I go back. It's 2.5 hours.
Bonnie drives like she's in a Conestoga wagon heading out west to start a pioneer life. Oh, she's revving it up now to show me. She can drive fast too.
Actually, I missed the speed limit sign that increases speed. So I'm just bringing it up to speed. I'm highly distracted by you.
Oh, I don't know how much more there's to say. I'm trying to think what happened this last couple of days. Tried to get as much painting done as possible. I don't know. We may end this early. Let's see. We're at the 17-minute mark. That's not too bad. Did you do anything or did you experience anything in the last couple of days?
Hell. Absolute hell.
You watched a lot of how to redo your house videos or something, right?
No, I didn't.
What did you watch then? How to cook an egg?
I was at the hospital most of the time.
Okay.
I was asleep. I was cleaning up after I came home. Because, you don't even know where the washing
I
machine is.
didn't leave any dirty dishes out. Everything I used, I washed and left ready to go.
Oh my God. You didn't put it up, did you?
No, I left them out so that when you washed them, there would be nothing in there to wash.
Oh, okay.
You would go, oh, this is easy to clean. Wow.
Bullshit.
We had Taco Stand, which is a local Mexican joint.
And then Peter got horrific pains and ended up back in the ER, and they got readmitted to the hospital.
Okay. Well, on that depressing note, we will end it and give you an update next week.